ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதிகுணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே நம்ம ஜாமாமுனிம் நம்ம ஜாமாத்ரி யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜமுனிம் பஜே. லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாதயாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். யோ நித்யமச்சத வதாம்புஜை குமருக்ம व्यामोहदस्तराणि तृणायमेने अस्मद्गुरोर्गतोस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातनया भूति सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्मयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपते रुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमदङ्ग्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं शरश्च महताह्वय पठनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्ग्रेण परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. We are having this wonderful yatra today in Melkot, Tirunarayanapuram. We've been having darshan of Selvanarayana Bhagavan, Tayar, Bhagavad Ramanuja Munigal. We've had the fortune to perform Mangalasasanam to all of them. The purpose of this yatra is to join together and understand the basics of our SrIvaishNava Sampradaya from the perspective of our daily conduct, how we show our daily life. So that is the purpose of this yatra. We wanted to have a practical engagement. So we started with the Snana Anushtanam, performing bathing at Kalyani Pushkarani. And then we did the Karma Anushtanam, Sandhyavandanam and so on there. And then this wonderful SrIvaishNava Mandir, where we have Thiruvenkadamudiyan blessing all of us. And this place is so apt and wonderful for our satsangam. We had Thiruvaradhanam here for our Perumal, which we brought along with us, and we offered fruits and all of that, and we also offered fruits to Perumal here, and we all had some prasadam at that time. And then we went to temple and we've come back here. After prasadam, we are now resuming our program. We are going to discuss about our SrIvaishNava lifestyle, how we should our life, what we should do on a basis, how we should focus our mind in Bhagavatas and Acharyas on a day-to-day basis. When it comes to our lifestyle, there are two aspects. One is our physical aspects. Second is the Atma-related aspects. We have to focus on both of them simultaneously and improve our lifestyle to match standards set by our Purvacharyas. For our SrIvaishnava Sampradayam, the standards are set by Purvacharyas. It is not some X or Y saying this is the best lifestyle, this is the way we have to live. We are not going by materialistic people's ideas or other philosophers who are belonging to different Sampradayams, their ideas. We should try, as SrIvaishnavas, we should try to follow our Purvacharyas, how they lived their life, and we should see how we can apply that in our lifestyle on a day-to-day basis. ஞானம் அனுஷ்டானம் இவை நன்றாகவே உடையனான குருவை அடைந்த கால் மாநிலத்தில் தேனார்கமல திருமாமகள் குழனன் தானே வைகுந்தம் தரும், says Manavaழ Mamnigal. If we approach a guru who has jnanam and anushtanam both, and we are surrendered to him, we take his guidance, then Sriman Narayana will automatically bestow us with Paramapadam. So from this it is understood that approaching someone who has jnanam and anushtanam is to develop such jnanam and anushtanam for us also. It is not that we approach the best acharya who has good jnanam, good anushtanam, and we don't do anything. That is not what is explained here in this Pasuram. Because Manavada Mamligal here is following the words of Gita Charya. He also says, Gita Charya says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnananas tattva darshanaha. He says, you go and approach one who has seen the truth, one who has understood the truth. You surrender unto him, you serve him, and then by inquiring humbly at the right time, at the right place, from such Tattvajnani, such Guru, one can understand the truth. And understanding the truth means trying to follow the truth. Because anything we understand, if we don't follow, that means we have not understood. That is how simply our Purocharyas explain. For example, the very simple example we give is, if you understand that fire burns when it is touched, then we don't touch fire. If you don't understand, as a child, looking at the brightness, the child will be attracted towards that fire and he'll go and try to touch that fire. But once he gets burnt or his hands get burnt, he'll stop touching that fire because then the understanding has come. So, similarly, our Purvacharyas have given us so much knowledge, and we also are engaged in pursuit of knowledge. All of us here, in fact, are engaged in pursuit of knowledge one way or the other. That is how we are actually gathered here. So, when we acquire knowledge, how much are we applying it in our life? If we understand that, we start from the basics, Atma is different from body. If we understand that clearly, then a lot of our activities will be according to that. In a lot of our activities will be very, very clear that we should not be worried too much about our bodily comforts, too much about satisfying our bodily needs. The moment we have that clear understanding that Atma is different from body, then we will definitely follow it also. But if we don't have understanding clearly, we say that body is different from Atma, but we don't have that understanding clearly, then we will act for the comfort of the body, for the um, facilities to be given for the body, and so on. Because that knowledge has to be practically applied. For example, if something happens to this phone, I'll worry definitely, but I'm not going to think it's the end of the world. But actually, phone is a bad example. We'll think that it's end of the world if something happens to the phone, because everything is in this phone only. Even our lecture is being broadcast using this phone only. Everything is done through the phone, and our transactions, our banking, our everything is in the phone. So we will think, but we should not think actually. That is the understanding we should develop. The example we see for this example is Janaka Maharaja, when he was learning under Yagyavalkya. At that time, he was always considered as a special Shishya by his Guru. The other Shishyas were all Rishi Putras. They were all wondering, we are all Rishi Putras, we have Vairagyam, we have Anushtanam, we are Brahmanas. And but why our Guru is always attached to Janaka Maharaja? For that, the Guru wanted to show the greatness of Janaka Maharaja. So he actually, during one session, one of these classes, he created a scene where Mithila is burning. And everyone became disturbed. Oh, Mithila is burning. Even the other Rishi Putras and all of those Shishyas. But Janaka remained very quiet, very, very undisturbed. And the Guru asks Janaka, oh, don't you see Mithila is burning? Why are you not doing anything? And he says, nothing is mine in Mithila. Why should I worry? We should only worry if something is ours. So when we have that understanding that nothing is ours, then we will not worry for that. So if something happens uh, to someone sitting next to us who are unrelated, we will feel sorry for them if something bad happens, or if something good happens, we will feel okay, something good happened. But beyond that, we are not going to carry any emotions for that. That is because we don't relate to them as us. But when we relate to our body as our own, then we become very emotional, we become very disturbed. Whether it is good or bad, we reveal our emotions very strongly. So this concept of body and Atma being different is very foundational, and once we understand that, lot of things will be very, very easy. And then we will see, okay, as an Atma, we have been given this body. Oftentimes we will get many questions about, it's, you say it is only body, then why you are discriminating based on body? Why you are saying this person is Brahmana, this person is Shudra, this is animal, this is bird. You don't touch a particular animal because it is not clean. So, but it's only body only. So many people will ask this question. If you are thinking in this high level, and they will also quote some shlokas, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Pandita Samadashinaha. So one who is a Pandita, he will have Samadarshan. He will see everything as equal. He will not differentiate between a learned Brahmana and dumb Brahmana. He will not differentiate between a cow and a elephant. He will not differentiate between a dog and a dog eater. So you are saying that you see difference between body and Atma. You accept that you are all Atma, and everything is body only. So why you are discriminating? Is that not inequality? Many people will ask. But in that shlokam itself, it is explained by our acharyas in the commentary that yes, Atma is different from body, but each one is given a body based on one's karma. And each body has a particular capacity and particular purpose. So a cow cannot be made to do the activity which is done by an elephant. An elephant cannot do an activity which has to be done by a dog. So each particular body has different roles, different purposes. It is not that one is high or low. We should not go into that particular mindset that this is high, this is low. Even though even in Shastram sometimes that superiority and inferiority may be ascribed in the Shastram, that is based on karma again. Because the high and low is based on one's capacity, what one can do. But we should not go too much into that high and low. That is not the purpose. The purpose is different body has different purpose. Because same argument can be easily explained using another example. The company may have CEO, company may have a clerk, a peon, a janitor, cleaner. Now, all these people who will raise about why you are being unequal and all that, the CEO definitely will sit in the first class AC, big room, probably as big as this room with all the facilities. The janitor will have the dirtiest place in the office. They will not speak about inequality at that time. They will say, oh, it's all because he has earned that place. Whatever it is, they will say. At that time, they will not speak about inequality, and every day, in every step of our life, we will see inequalities. We have someone from court, advocate is there. So there, if he goes, the judge will sit in the top only, others will have to sit in the bottom only. There we cannot go and say inequality. Why he only has to sit in the top? Then they'll say he has earned that place. That is not, just because one has earned the place, he has earned the place to give judgment. He has not earned the place to sit in the top. But we cannot ask these questions. It will even be considered as offensive or even problematic. But this concept of inequality, in some way, it will be present always, because that is the problem in the human mindset. It is not with the system. People see someone has more money, someone has more status, they see that person to be superior. Whoever may have been ill-treated before, now that if he has become a great wealthy person, the same person will be respected. Now also the inequality will go. So people's mindset is having problems. It is not with the system. People are having different reactions based on individuals' power, status, wealth, knowledge, sometimes even knowledgeable person. We see some scientists, they may be eccentric, still they'll be very highly respected. But if a person next to us, if he behaves eccentric manner, if he shouts at us, then we'll shout back and we'll beat him even. But if a scientist does it, then we respect, then people will say, oh no, no, he's very knowledgeable, he's a big scientist, so he has the right to be like this. So all of these are problem in people's mindset only, not something with the system. So the point of about seeing everything equal, coming back to it, is giving equal responsibility, giving proper respect for the task they do instead of treating them or ill treating them for the task they do. For example, if there is a cleaner, if we ill treat that cleaner, then it is great injustice, because if that cleaner does not come, then our place will be very dirty and we will struggle because of that. And we will start praising that person the next day itself. Oh, now that person was cleaning nicely regularly. Now he is not here. The whole place has become dirty. So we'll start praising that same person, because when there is a need, we will praise that person. So one should not be treated high or low, superior or inferior, but one has got one body based on one's own karma. For those who don't accept karma, it is not going to be relevant at all. We will have to leave them. We cannot argue with them. But anyone who accepts karma, anyone who is having faith in this Vaidika system, they will accept this simple concept that one has taken birth based on one's previous karma only. It is not random. It is not something which is put on our head, that somebody from up pushed us without any of our deeds. Somebody has pushed us from the top to this particular birth. It is not like that. We have all got this birth based on our previous karma. Now we have to try to be out of this cycle of karma. That is our goal. Now that we are here, what we have to do is we have to try to come out of this circle and be liberated. This is the concept of Vedanta. All schools of thought in Vedanta, they accept the cycle of birth and death, and they show that liberation is the way out from this suffering. They accept that this is a place of suffering. Samsara is a place of suffering. This is common for all Vedanta. So, being the topmost Vedanta system, topmost Vaidika system, our SrIvaishNava Sampradayam also accepts this principle. So, we have to see that Atma is different from body. We should not see this is superior, this is inferior, and so that and so on. But we have to see that each one of us has particular purpose, and based on that purpose, we have to lead our life. And for that, we need some system. For us to lead our life, we need some guidelines, we need some setup. And that setup is our Vedam, Itihasas, Puranas, Dharma Shastram, all of that. So they are all like rule books for us. We can follow these literature and align our lifestyle according to that. And how do we learn from this literature? Again, we have to go back to where we started. Tad Vidhi Pranipatyana. We have to go to a guru, an acharya, and surrender unto that person, and we can learn from that person when that person is willing to teach. So that is also a criteria. A person may be very knowledgeable, but if that person is not willing to share the knowledge, then that knowledge will die with that person himself. So that is why our Purvacharyas emphasized on both acharam and pracharam. We have to have our own good conduct, proper lifestyle, and we also have to engage in teaching others. That is emphasized by our Purvacharyas. In many of our Purvacharyas literature, we see how many acharyas have engaged in instructing others, teaching others without any hesitation. It is explained in our Purvacharyas Granthams. We can see in Itihasas also. When Sri Rama is asked, "Who are you?" Rama will just not say, "I am Rama." He will start from Janaka. He will say, "I am the son of Dasharatha Maharaja," not Janaka, Dasharatha Maharaja. He will start from Dasharatha Maharaja. Chakravarti, he say, "I am the son of Dasharatha Chakravarti. He is the killer of all the bad people. He has conducted this reign. He ruled this kingdom for 60,000 years. He was very, very righteous," and so on. And he explains everything. And then he talks about himself also. So when we ask about something, we always have to give some context and explain. Similarly, in Embermanar's Charitram also it is explained. When somebody goes and asks Embermanar something, Bhagavad Ramanuja, if he is asked something, he will not hesitate. He will immediately start explaining. Whoever asks, immediately he will start explaining. Sollenna Chonnal, that is Inthirunedandagam. Sollenna Chonnal. If you go and you tell, she immediately spoke. That is Parkal Naiki in that Pasuram. For that, example is given as Embermanar. This Parkal Naiki is like Embermanar. If you go and ask something, he will immediately start speaking and explaining. He will not say, "Oh, why do you ask this question?" Sometimes, we have question and answers, and if same question is repeated 2 3 times 5 times, then we say, "You are asking the same question 5 different ways. Why are you asking like this?" But Embermanar is not like that. He will be more compassionate, and he will find the nerve why he is asking that question. So there must be some reason, and he will explain that particular concept. So that is the greatness of Bhagavad Ramayana. That is how our Purvacharyas have shown. So we have to practice. Just practicing itself will be good for that person, but it will not help the society. On the other hand, if somebody is just preaching to the society without practicing, then it is also not worthwhile. Manavar Mamnikal says in one place that if we don't practice something and we just preach to others, then it is like a prostitute teaching about how to be a chaste woman. That is how it is. If you don't practice, we just preach others. Oh, you have to be very good. You have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we go to that person's place, he will be waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then what is the point? Telling day in and day out, we have to do this, we have to do that. But we are ourselves not following. So both should be, practice should also be there. And then we can explain, share what we practice. And on the other hand, whatever we preach, we should try at least. Maybe everyone will not be 100%. We cannot match our Purvacharya standards. Their standards are totally different. In fact, we can often see that our Purvacharyas have set such high standards. It is actually impossible for us to implement it. Because in so many different incidents from our Purvacharya's lives, if you see, for example, if someone comes and blames us something, some mistake we have not done, if someone comes and says that you have done this mistake, ideally in Tirupavai Pasram, Elle Ilangaliye, in that Pasram, Nanedan Aiduga. So under Nachiyar has sung Nanedan Aiduga. In that Pasram, it is explained in one commentary that இல்லாத குற்றங்களை ஏறிட்டாலும் அதை இல்லை என்று சொல்லாமல் இருப்பவன் தான் ஸ்ரீ வைஷ்ணவன். So if somebody comes and says that you have stolen this 1,000 rupees from me, at that time we cannot refuse. No, I have not done. We have to say, yes, I accept, I have done. Because today we have not stolen. But we have had millions and millions and millions of births. We have probably stolen much more than 1,000 rupees. So it is not that they are saying something which is completely false. So anyway, would have done whatever possible mistakes as per Shastram. We would have done them probably crores and crores of times. Every single mistake which is explained in Shastram, in many of our past countless lives, we would have done all of those mistakes anyway. So a real Sri Vaishnava will understand that principle. If someone comes and puts a blame on us, now even if we did commit a mistake, and if someone comes and blames us, we will say, no, no, that's not me, you are mistaken. Just see me one more time and tell. Don't tell like this. I will not even think about such things. But on the contrary, in our Granthams, it is said that even if we don't commit a mistake, if someone puts a blame, we have to just silently accept and move on. But it's now this kind of standard we cannot easily practice because we are not in that level. At least what we can do, we have to try to be honest. We have to be as best as possible, try to follow our Purvacharyas within our limited situations. For example, we may not all have the facility to get Kalyani Pushkarni water every day for our Tiruvaranam. But at least we all have opportunity to wear clothes according to our sampradaya. That we can do at home. We cannot bring Kalyani Pushkarni water to our home, but at home we can definitely wear the way we should wear our clothes instead of just doing whatever we want. And these small, small things. For example, we can ensure that we eat only whatever is offered to Perumal. This is in our hands only. We can make sure that even if we are living outside, we have certain difficulties. At least whatever we get, we offer to Perumal. But make sure that the ingredients are not contrary to our sampradaya. That onion, garlic, all the drumstick, all these vegetables which we should not eat. Then tea, coffee. Everyone is addicted to tea, coffee nowadays because they can even live without food, but they cannot live without tea or coffee. But these are all Nishiddha padarthas. They are all forbidden for us. We cannot say, oh, that person himself had coffee. If he had coffee, he will suffer for that. If we also want to have suffering, we can also have coffee. Because anything we eat, it has to be offered to Perumal. We cannot offer something which is not Vaidika. At least Vaidika product, raw materials is there, we can at least offer to Perumal and take. But if it is not even Vaidika raw material, how can we offer it? We cannot offer. If we don't offer and if we eat anything, we are just eating handful of sins. That is Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that anything you take without offering to me, you are just taking handful of sin. So eating handful of sin every time we eat something which is not offered. So these are things which we can avoid. Now we can, many people will say, oh no, no, we are all prapannas, we are all surrendered. So Perumal will forgive. If we do without knowing, unknowingly, if we do mistakes, Perumal will forgive. But we know, everyone knows that we should not eat anything other than prasadam. So we should ensure at our home we eat, at temples we eat, outside we don't eat. We have to develop that. Maybe it is not achievable in 1 day, 2 days, but have that as the goal. As soon as possible, we all transform to that stage. So we have to try that left hand. Many people drink from left hand. If we drink from left hand, it is equivalent to drinking alcohol. That again sin we will accumulate. So these things we have to know and put in our mind that we, again, these are very easy for us to follow. Very, very basic things we can easily follow. If we follow this, many of our sufferings will be avoided. See, nobody would want to suffer. Whatever suffering we are going through, it is because of past karma. Now, in the future, let's say we are living 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. In the 20 years, we want to live happily. Nobody would want to live very sad and suffering life. So what we should do? We should try to minimize our karma. Whatever bad things we have to avoid, we have to avoid. That way, we will have less suffering to do handle. If we have to go to hospital anyway, for the amount of sin we have to do, we will suffer. Now if we add more and more, we only have to go through that suffering. So these are aspects which we have to think in our day-to-day activities, how best we can follow shastram, how best we can implement. There are certain things which may be beyond our control. We cannot do anything about that immediately. Maybe in the future we can try to change. Maybe 10 years target. We can try to live in a place which is conducive to our dharma, instead of living in big cities, living in apartment complexes, or living in areas where there is no scope for following Vaidika principles. But we have to plan for the future. How long we want to do this? Maybe 5 years, 10 years, we have that target. And after that we have to try to live in some village like setup, where there is more peace, where there is rivers or tanks or pushkarni, or at least well, so where we can slowly at least um, engage in activities which will please Bhagavan. See, when we follow Shastram, that will please Bhagavan, because he is the one who says, Shruti Smriti Mamai Vagyan. So he is saying that Shruti and Smriti are my orders. So you follow that. And those who don't follow, even if they are Vaishnava, I will not consider them as to be bhaktas, my devotees. So when he emphasizes the importance of following Shastra, we have to follow. And being Sri Vaishnavas, if we don't follow Shastra, who will follow Shastra? Now we are saying that, oh, these people are not for accepting Manusmriti, they are not abiding by it. There are many opposition for Manusmriti. Then we have to see whether we are abiding by Manusmriti. Ourselves, we are not abiding by Manusmriti. But when somebody they burn Manusmriti, and we become very upset. Oh, we have to bring a big movement for opposing this. But first big movement is to follow Manusmriti ourselves as much as possible. Because Bhagavan says in Shastram itself, it is said, whatever Manu says, it is medicine for us. We have to take. We may not even be accepting it to be good. But just like when we have some sickness, when we have some medical problem, health problem, we take medicine, right? At that time, we don't say, oh, it's bitter, it is draining me, it is making me sleepy. We are not seeing all those problems. We are just accepting the medicine. Similarly, even if Manusmriti is little bit difficult for us to accept and digest, any Shastram for that matter, if you say Manusmriti, then somebody may say, oh, why don't we just take other Dharma Shastra? It will be even difficult. That is what, when we go into Shastram, there are certain things which are difficult for us to follow, because we are so used to doing whatever we want. We have been last 50 years, 100 years, we become so used to doing whatever we want. We can go anywhere, we can eat anywhere, we can drink anything. We don't need to see who is preparing what. We don't need to see what ingredients it is made, whether it is offered to Perumal, whether it is not offered to Perumal, whether it is good or even at least basic for our bodily health, whether it is good or not. Even that people are not seeing. If they want to eat, they just eat. If they want to drink, they just drink. So that is how much we have degraded. So when we accept Shastram and we try to follow, little bit slowly, we can start improving. We need not achieve everything on first day, but we have to have stepping stones, milestones. Okay, this time we will do this time we will do this, and then we can accomplish slowly. And that has to be in both our physical activities and our qualities, in developing compassion, in developing helping nature, in having goodness always in the mode of sattvagunam. So these things we have to develop. Once we develop sattvagunam, knowledge will easily go inside us. As long as we are having more rajogunam and tamogunam, knowledge will always be stuck. We think we are listening to some lectures, we understand, but that knowledge will not have permeated inside us, because the sattvagunam only will facilitate knowledge development. Rajogunam and tamogunam will put it down. It will blunt the knowledge aspect. So we have to develop sattvagunam, make sure that we follow Shastram principles as much as possible according to each one's situation. We can start with certain basic things, whatever is possible for us. What happens sometimes, many people say that because I am not able to follow this, I don't need to follow other things also. I'm not even having basic anushtanam, so I can do everything wrong. But that we cannot say. Whatever aspect we cannot do, we can leave it. But whatever we can do, we should do it, and we should nurture it also slowly. And we should improve. Every day we should slowly improve, little bit and little bit and little bit. We should never go down. These are some things which we need to consider from our lifestyle perspective. If there are any questions, we can start asking. We can keep the questions relevant to the topic of discussion today. That is our Sri Vaishnava lifestyle. How to do this, how to do that. Like how can we improve our anushtanams and those kind of things. We can limit to that particular aspect only.
Actually, we saw all the anushtanams we need to do in the morning, right from taking bath and Tirman and also all the things.
Tiruvaram, yeah.
But in the night time, before going to sleep, what all the anushtanams we need?
So in the morning, we have got good idea now. We have to first morning activities we will do, going to washroom and all that. After that, we take bath and then we apply Thiruman. Brahmanas or anyone who has Yajnaopavitam, they have to do Sadhyavandanam and then Tiruvaradhanam. This is the morning sequence. And after Tiruvaradhanam, if there are guests, we serve guests and then we take prasadam. After that, during the daytime, we should maximum spend our time in learning our Sampradayam principles. Whether it is Grantha Kalakshepams, Upanyasams, reading books from our Sampradayam, or learning Pasurams, reciting Pasurams, or reciting Rahasya Granthams. All of these can be done during the daytime. In the evening time, in our home, around 6 o'clock, we can light the lamp in our puja room, Koilalvar, near Koilalvar. This is standard in any family which follows our Sanatana Dharma. Usually they light the lamp around 6 o'clock and they do some shlokas. Some people recite Vishnu Sahasranamam. Some people recite stotrams, Stotra Ratna Chatushloki, Yatiraj Vimshati, and so on. Whatever we have learnt. And maybe we can offer whatever is prepared in the evening to Perumal also. And then have some engagement for mind. Again, some listening to lectures or going to temple. Maybe there is a Nityanusandanam Goshti in temple, we can go to that. If not, at home we can engage our mind positively in some light matters probably, because towards the evening our grasping capacity will also become reduced. The morning will be fresh, and then in the afternoon also we can understand more. But slowly towards the evening and night, our grasping capacity may be less. So light subjects can be discussed and heard, like Guru Paramparai and probably Divya Prabandham Pasuram meanings. And then towards the end of night, we can, um, if the whole family is inclined towards this devotional aspects, we can sit together and discuss some aspects. Maybe go through some aspects from Vyakhyanam and share each other's realizations. And then, as much as possible, around 9:30 to 10 o'clock, we should go to sleep. Only if we go to sleep early, we can wake up early. Because waking up early is not at all difficult. Going to sleep early is more difficult. So if we go to sleep early around 10 o'clock, naturally, because we are all not doing heavy body activities, like we are not pulling any cart, we are not lifting heavy weight. So usually 6 hours sleep is normal for us. So 10 o'clock we go to sleep, 4 o'clock we can wake up, 4:30 maximum. We can keep alarm and wake up if we are not automatically waking up. So we can keep alarm and wake up. So if we force that habit, going to bed at 10 o'clock, we can wake up at 4 o'clock or so, 4:30, and then mind will be fresh. In the morning, we can again spend the time usually learning pasurams or listening to kalakshepams. All of that can be done the early morning. Hmm. Ah, 1 second, I will show. You can first. And then,
Should I ask some?
yeah, you ask, then he will ask.
Swami, regarding this Sattva Gunam, you were saying there are certainly different levels will be there. Sattva Gunam also from basic to maybe highest level for
Yeah.
like that. So my question is because we have Sampradayam for all the Varnas and all the Varnas participation will be there. So mostly Brahmanas will need more Sattva Gunam for their Varna duties. Kshatriyas will perform duties that requires Rajagunam, like it's a management, administration, or something like that. Vaishyas need little more Raja, or even Tama, because business thing. Shudras need some more Tama for the physical activities or whatever they do, like that. General understand. Like my question is if these Varna people also adopting more Sattvic lifestyle, will they able to contribute in their Varna also, excel that their Varna duties also, or will that also will get impacted? Because in the Kshatriya, if he is making his lifestyle more Sattvam, so can he perform his Varna duties more effectively also? Because he needs some rajas in his activities also to perform. Even if he's a Shudra, he has to perform a lot of physical, like let us say, if he's a farmer or someone. If he's want to make his life sattva, my question is it some basic sattva he used to follow, or there's some higher standards to be adopted by everyone?
Okay. See, as far as
Small extension to this is that because our path is Prabhatya, we are completely dependent on Bhagavan only. So of course the rules and all that we follow doesn't matter. It's not like somebody following will have more chances for Vaikuntham or somebody not following is not like that. So the purpose of following is different from our what you say attaining life goal.
yes,
Because we are not depending on rules to attain Paramal. So there's a different objective for this also for following. So can you explain what exactly you're expecting someone from following these rules?
okay. So two questions we'll see differently, separately. First question is about different varna having different qualities. Definitely that is true. But once one becomes a Vaishnava, one should not focus too much on the varna duties, because nowadays anyway there is no real kshatriya. We are not going and protecting our country. uh, there is no one trying to expand their kingdom. So these are all not in scope. We can say everyone is probably, that is why we say even Vaishya, there are certain dharma like go raksha and yeah, farming. These two are, yeah, vanijam is there. um, Pretty much we can say that there is brahmana lifestyle and mix of Vaishya and Shudra lifestyle. That is the two lifestyles we have now, because everyone is working. Even many brahmanas are working for as labor, basically Shudra profession only. Yeah, mainly whatever somebody does, this person is doing. So as profession it has changed now. And businesses and all, they are all driven by money, they are not driven by dharma. So they are not also following Vaishya dharma as such. They are doing the business and money making thing, but it's not really full-fledged dharma. So on one side, what we can say is, rather than focusing on um, the particular guna, rajogunam or tamogunam, what we should have is the mindset to focus on Bhagavan and run our life for the sake of Bhagavan. So we are, let's say, one person is as a Brahmana learning Vedam, Shastram, doing Prohitam or doing Adhyapakam, Kainkaryam, and they are getting some livelihood from that. They live like that. On the other hand, there are people who are just working for someone else or doing some business and earning money. So both of them should develop Sattvagunam only, whether it's a Brahmana or others, should develop Sattvagunam only, because that Sattvagunam only will make us do less mistakes. We'll be very cautious on what we are doing in every step. Only when we have that Sattvagunam, we can have that ability to decide in the best manner in whatever we are doing. So everyone should have Sattvagunam only. For the livelihood, people have chosen different paths. So they have to do only for that particular sake of livelihood. They should not think about being like excelling in the career, becoming a very great master of their particular trade, and making loads of money. Because the more we money, the more we will be sucked into it. Knowingly or unknowingly, we will be pulled away from Bhagavan somehow. The more money we have, unless someone is very very detached from money, one can very easily say that even though I have crores and crores of money, I will only spend that for dharma related activities. If one has that mindset, that is good, then they can earn lots of money also. And that also they have to work within the frame of dharma. We have to, everyone should try to do without harming others, without making others suffer for their survival and their flourishing. So if that is done, again it comes back to, there will be less karma for us to evaporate within this janma. If we accumulate more and more karma in pursuit of wealth and money and other things, then we will have to evaporate, burn all of those karma. So if one is able to, so coming to the conclusion, if one is able to really decide, whatever I earn, I am not earning for myself, I will earn for my family, for their survival, for their sustenance, comfortable living. I'm not saying that we should all go and do unjavriti or something. Everyone can earn whatever is required to conduct their family comfortably without going into too much luxury and too much comforts. But anything we focus on other than that, whatever we earn, we should try to spend it in dharmic way. So that is the uh, goal here. Now if I'm earning, let's say, 10 crore a month, and if I can spend that 10 crore in dharmic way, then that is good for me. So I have to earn dharmic way also, I have to spend dharmic way also. So if I can do it, that is good. But if I am not able to do it, I am just, many people will say, oh, because I am earning 10 lakhs per month, I am able to give 50,000 per 10 lakhs per year, I am able to give 50,000 per month to some temple. So what is the point? We are keeping 9,50,000 for us, for our own comforts and for our own survival and for our own safety and so on. So earning 10 lakh doesn't make sense in that case. Rather, we can earn 5 lakhs and give 50,000, or we can earn 1 lakh and give 10,000. Just example, like these numbers need not be directly taken and say, oh, we have to only earn 1 lakh per month. How can I live in 10,000 or 8,000 per 1 lakh per year? Then how can I live in 8,000? No, I'm not. I'm just giving some numbers for example. So the purpose is to live in a dharmic way. So as long as we can do it, that is good. And for that dharmic life, we will have to have sattva gunam. Then only that way of living will happen for us. If we have more and more of rajogunam and tamagunam, then our dharma will reduce for us.
So there is some
Maximum Sattvagunam should be there. Then only we can, minimum, sorry?
At least this much sattva should be there.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, above that we have to grow.
Brahmanas will have maybe much more higher standards.
Yes. No, not like that. See, everyone should, from Sattvagunam perspective, everyone should have more Sattvagunam only. But Anushtanam will be different. Brahmana, for example, has to do Sandhya Vandanam. Someone who doesn't have Yajnapavitam, no, need not do Sandhya Vandanam. That is the main difference. Other than that, we should all have good Sattvagunam so that we don't lose focus. See, ultimately, with more power, with more money, there is higher risk of losing focus and slipping. So this is where we come to your second question. What are these rules for? See, these rules for Sri Vaishnavas to follow are not to attain moksha. It is to live a Sri Vaishnava life. If you want to claim I am a Sri Vaishnava, then I should have a Sri Vaishnava life, right? I say I am a doctor. If someone asks, where is your clinic? No, no, I don't practice. Then what is the point? Yeah, I claim I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor. But you don't have clinic, you don't practice. At least do you give suggestion to your friends or relatives? No, no. I don't go into the because it's too risky. If I say something and if something bad happens, they'll come back to me and they will, hurt me. So I don't give any suggestion at all. So what is the point of studying 5 years in MBBS? Similarly, what is the point of studying Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya? Often audience says, if we have to live in any way, our Purvacharyas would have written, you take Samashayanam and you go to Moksha. There's only one Grantham will be there, only one line will be there in that Grantham. But that is not what our Purvacharyas have written. They have written so many Granthams. Mumukshapadi is there, Tattvatrayam is there, Artha Panchakam is there, Shivachana Bhushanam is there, Acharya Hridayam is there. So many Granthams are there. I only listed probably 1% or 0.5% of the most important Granthams itself. When there are so many Granthams written, in every Grantham they are saying, Sri Vaishnava should be like this, Sri Vaishnava should be like this, Sri Vaishnava should be like this. So it is to be understood that it is the true nature of us to follow rules and regulations given by our Purvacharyas and Shastrams. If we don't do that, then we lose the claim of being a Sri Vaishnava. It is like that non-practicing doctor only. Nobody is going to put a gun on him. You are not practicing. Similarly, nobody is going to say you are not a Sri Vaishnava. That is what is happening now. Everybody is doing whatever they want, and everybody say I am a Iyengar, I am a Sri Vaishnava, I am a Bhagavata. Whatever they want to say, they say. But their conduct is not in line with what we should be doing, including me only, not saying others. So it's including me. So our standards are not, our Purvacharya standards are not met, but at least we should crave for that standards. We should try to improve day by day and we should try to practice as best as possible, as much as possible. So these rules, that is why our Purvacharya sometimes say that even if you don't follow these rules, we will still get moksha. That means even if we are unable to follow some of the rules, we'll get moksha. It doesn't mean that even if you don't follow any of the rules, we'll get moksha. So that concept need to be understood. If we are unable to follow certain rules and regulations, then Perumal will not be very angry on us and very in the punishing mood, and he will not punish us for that. If we are unable to do certain things. But in general, as a Sri Vaishnava, we should have respect for Shastram. If we don't respect Shastram and if we don't follow rules, how can we expect others to follow? In the society, we keep complaining, nobody is respecting Dharma, nobody is following Dharma. Then we have to see how much Dharma we are following. So we think following Dharma means, one Swami in Tiruvalikani used to tell me, what is our acharam? We take bath, we put 12 Thiruman, this is our acharam. That's where it ends. No, that is not the point. It has to be more like deeper. We have to go into our granthams, we have to go into our lives of Puracharyas, we have to see how Embermanar lived his life, how Manavan Mamigal lived his life, how Pillai Lokacharya lived his life. Then what did they What was the reason for them living like that? They could have also lived a jolly life, simple life, without worrying about any of the rules. But they did follow the rules because that is what Perumal desires. He wants order in the society. He wants everyone to follow certain rules and regulations, respect each other, help each other. The society was like a good brotherhood. Each, irrespective of varna, ashrama, they will help each other. Even in by definition, sannyasis and brahmacharis should be taken care by grihasthas. That is how the society was. Brahmachari will not go and earn money. Sannyasi cannot step out of his place for earning money. So grihasthas will earn money and they will support. Money means those days whatever wealth or gold or um, grains, those were the money those days. So that is what the purpose of these rules and regulations. It is to fulfill our responsibility. We expect Perumal to fulfill his responsibility to give moksham, whatever way we are. Then we have to fulfill our responsibility also. We have to fulfill our responsibility also. Yeah, one second. I'll turn the camera so you see.
So in olden days it was, it is recommended taking two because we have done.
Hmm.
But due to nowadays, like due to office and other things, it's hardly to do one time, that is morning. Sometimes we could do in evening, that was sometimes we cannot do. So in that case, what can be done is fine. Because
Okay.
usually we all in office only.
Yeah.
And find
Yeah. See, Trikala Sandhyavandanam we have to do. As one who has Yajnapavitam, we have to do. In the morning time, if we are unable to do afternoon Madhyanikam, we can do that also in the morning itself. In the evening, whatever time we come, even 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we come home. We have to take bath and we have to do Sandhyavandanam. And then only eat. Anyway, most of us will eat in the night. Even if we come at 11 o'clock, we will eat. So before eating, we do Sandhyavandanam. Even if we don't eat, we have to do Sandhyavandanam. So that is the only way. There is no other excuse. We have to do Sandhyavandanam and we have to do, depending on our situation, if we are unable to do it at the right time, we do it after or before. In the case of Madhyanikam, we can do it before. In the case of Sayam Sandhya, we can do it afterwards. Another 10 more minutes we'll have. 10, 15 minutes will be.
Today it is not possible to follow all the rules for the rural health side. And we all have office and work and college. So what is a suitable way that they can follow haircut rules? What
Haircut.
kind of rules can they follow for haircut? Now, few people, few offices they allow, few offices they don't allow. So what is the exact rules we can follow for haircut?
See, haircut and hairstyle, everyone should have shika. Whether it is Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. In the past, everyone used to have shika only. Nobody had this kind of cutting and all came after British or even last 100, 50, 60 years only. These became popular. In the some 60, 70 years ago, there will be more people having shika, less people having no shika, like this. And if someone cuts their shika, it will be like a taboo those days. Oh, they've cut the shika. Now what do we do? Do we include him in our family functions and so on? Those kind of talks will be happening in back then. But now majority is non-shika and minority is shika. But we have to see that we can keep shika as much as possible because nowadays offices and also in offices also they are allowing shika. They are not restricting too much. Maybe in certain jobs like military or somewhere there are certain restrictions for everyone common, whether you are Hindu or Christian or Muslim. They have certain rules and regulations that you have to follow this kind of hairstyle. You can only have cut short. But other offices there is not much restriction. So wherever there is possibility, we should keep shika. because Shika is the basic Vaidika identity. Over time, what we have done is we have erased our Vaidika identity itself. We are followers of Vaidika system means it is Shika. Not only in our Bharatadesham, even if we see there are other civilizations where they have this concept of Shika. In the East Asian, China and Japan, and those also places, those who are having self-control, those who are practicing certain types of martial arts and all, they will have Shika because it gives certain power and control and so on. So it is a well-known and a well-established, proven fact that having certain type of hairstyle is conducive for our internal peace and external freshness and so on. So everyone should have Shika. And also haircut, when it comes to haircut, we should not just cut any day. We have to cut on certain days only. Generally, as far as days go, Monday, Wednesday and Thursday are the most ideal days. Other days people don't usually cut. And also another thing is self shaving should not be done. Each one has one particular task to do. So it is the task of barber to do shaving. So we should not shave our own hair. Even that's also face shaving also we should not do. It should be done by barber only, and it should be done only on certain days. Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and that too Tithi also should be seen. We should not cut on every Tithi. Ekadashi, Amavasya, Paurnami, Prathama, Ashtami, Navami. These days usually, and there are also some more days. We should not, on these Tithis, we should not do. On our birth star, we should not do. Monthly birth star also we should not do. On Alvaracharya's Tirnakshatram, we should not do. If we are living in a particular Dividesham or town where is a temple, if the flag hoisted for Brahmotsavam, then we should not do. But many days, many places nowadays, people do on the day before important Utsavam, Garda Seva, because they want to look fresh and appealing, so they do. But that's not allowed. Once the Dwajarohanam is done, usually we don't do shaving until Dwajarohanam flag is unhoisted. So there are so many rules, and also we should not shave just the face for grahasthas. For brahmachari, we should only shave face. We should not shave below the neck. But for grahasthas, we should do sarvangam, full body shave, except for back and this biceps area. We should not. We should shave everywhere else. That is the standard, and everyone should have shika and no separate mustache. Mustache is also not allowed. Even not only Brahmanas, even Abrahmanas nowadays, many of them are not having mustache. Once they have Samashanam, they stop. Because the concept about mustache, separate mustache is like it is showing the manliness, masculinity. Rather, we should have that feminine mood towards Perumal, that we are his consort. We should have that humility and submissiveness, because the moment always they say, touch their mustache and say, I'm a strong man, so that kind of attitude should not develop in us. So that is why these are prohibited in Shastram for Satvika people. So there are so many rules such as these, and we have to learn these and uh, ideally follow as best as possible.
If not from anything leading
It is, we have to just follow. Anywhere you will find barber shop, you can go and find.
that is okay, but
In most offices also nowadays they are not enforcing this clean shaven thing and all, because most IT companies they don't care.
yes,
They care about what you deliver from work perspective, whether you have mustache or beard or just something hanging here, something hanging there. Many people are doing so many things nowadays, so people are don't worried about these things. The days are gone. Maybe some government offices they may say, but other than that, not much restriction as far as I am seeing. So we can try to follow. We can limit our sharing monthly once, at least once every 20 days or so, and try to do it in the barber shop and do it properly on checking the days. 3 o'clock. Another 10 more minutes. 3:10 we will complete. 3:30 will start sharp.
Maybe traffic accident.
Okay.
We are in the shortcut.
Okay, 5 more minutes. One or two more questions. Somebody was not asked, maybe ask.
It's not a question for me, but see, whatever you are telling, the Perumal experience definitely we can somehow convince. But Taya's thing is too much demanding nowadays. This family, they
See,
expect.
family issues is there that not everyone will understand these things.
Yes,
That is the biggest problem.
Yes.
Because in some families man will change, the woman will be resisting. Why? Everyone is like this. Even
Yes.
that person is like this person is like this. Even they'll say, give example of Acharya Purusha or some Archaka or some Purohita. They'll say they are not even having Shika. Why you want to have Shika?
Yes.
But again, everything comes down to this. We have to convince ourselves first that we want to have a dharmic life, so we reduce our karma, and we have to convince others also by explaining them in a gentle way, not forcing, not like saying I am right, you are wrong, you don't know anything, what do you know, what have you learned, like this we should not speak. To be gentle about it, try to be firm about it. We have to be firm that we have to follow these things, uh, and that is what will be. And we can also say the positive aspects. If we follow Shastram, then there will be prosperity, there will be less suffering for us. Whether you want to go through suffering or whether you want to have short term prosperity. If you short term enjoyment, you want to have this hairstyle, that hairstyle, like that particular cinema actor, or this actor, you want me to have hairstyle, then we will have to suffer in the future. Or if I have proper hairstyle, then we will be happier in the future. So we have to explain to them and convince them, everyone. And in some cases, even wife will accept, but parents will resist. Oh, you are only so young, as if they exactly know how many years this person will live, and everything is known to them. They'll say, you are so young, why don't you do it at 60 years? This person himself may not live for 60 years. What to speak about the son? So we are planning about something we don't know anything about. So parents also sometimes oppose when children are more devotional in some families. Parents become a little bit worrisome, and they say, "Oh no, you are going this way. You are doing this, which is not done in our family ever." They don't know. Maybe if you go back in 100 years, many families would have been in a Vaidika way only. Whether it is Brahmana family or a Brahmana family, everybody would have been very sincere to Bhagavan, sincere to Shastram, because there will be some elder, they will be teaching, they will be training, so they will follow these principles. But nowadays they are not following, so they are not seeing physically, visibly. So everybody is saying, "Oh no, no, you don't need to follow. You are so young. Why don't you just be normal?" This normal is like now abnormal has become normal. Normal has become abnormal. If you keep shika, those days it was abnormal. If you remove shika, it was abnormal those days. They'll not even consider Vaidika. But nowadays, if you keep shika, it is abnormal. So normal and abnormal has changed now. So we have to explain to our family, our circle, close circle, that these have benefits. It is one thing to say that it is Shastram we have to follow. But when we follow what is in Shastram, it is also good for us. It is only us who are going to enjoy that goodness, not somebody else. Same way, if we don't follow Shastram, it is us who are going to enjoy to have to go through the suffering. So, if we worry for somebody else's concern and words, then we will end up suffering more. So, we have to make sure that we are following Shastram as best as possible, and also we have to worry only about immediate family. We don't worry about every person, X person, Y person. What will my office manager think? What will my colleague think? That person is daily driving me to office. Maybe if I keep a shika, they will not take me in his car. We don't need to worry about those things. No need to worry about everybody else. Only people we have to convince is our wife, our husband, our parents maximum. But if they are convinced, we should not worry about anyone else. Okay, we will stop here. Some other time we will continue. Alvar Ebermanar GR Tirudiyadeshanam, GR Tirudiyadeshanam. Again, would like to thank many of our volunteers who have done so much painstaking efforts in organizing this program. And thank you so much to Mohan Babu Swami and his family, his uncle. Oh, they have all given us, done great favor for us, because we started this yatra and we planned some for prasadam and all. We also have to thank Narsimha Swami for giving us so much prasadam, and we have arranged for that. And they were so kind and um, helpful to give us so much prasadam. But we didn't actually think about disposing the garbage and all of that. We didn't think about that. But after coming here, they had every facility for us to take care of. And in the Sannidhi also, we had nice Mangala Shasana. So everything is nicely arranged by Perumal through Bhagavatas. So we are thankful for everyone who have come and joined this program and helped us in many different ways. And hope we will again meet some other time in some other place, or maybe same place some other time. Alvar Embermanar, GR Tirudiyadeshanam, GR Tirudiyadeshanam.